Teaching your child to read doesn't have to be stressful, hard, confusing, or time-consuming. My name is Moran, and I help parents just like you teach their children to read at home. I share tips and strategies that I use with hundreds of bilingual students and my own children. These are strategies that I use to boost their language and reading skills. Teaching your child to read is also one of the most beautiful and rewarding experiences that you can have as a parent. Unlike other skills like crawling, walking, or eating, when you teach your child to read at home, you can see their learning in real time, and you can trace that learning all the way back to you. You're the input, and the output is your child's reading. And when your child starts to read, you'll feel so proud of them and yourself. Isn't that amazing? In order to read, children need to know two things. They need to know their sounds, and they need to know how to put those sounds together. If you want to know how I teach children their sounds, I'm going to link a few videos up above for you. The key to teaching your child how to read is to make sure that they know their sounds automatically. That means they need to know their sounds cold. Just like if your child saw a dog on the street and they'd be able to say dog, or if you showed your child the number 3, they'd be able to say 3. That's how they need to know all their sounds. When they don't know their sounds automatically, children usually struggle, and you can especially see that in longer words. They get stuck, or they start guessing, or they start looking at pictures for cues, and that doesn't help their reading. How do you teach your child how to read? Here's the plan for you in 3 easy steps. If you follow this plan, I guarantee your child will learn to read. Step 1 is the pre-teaching phase. Do not skip this step. This is what you need to do before you sit down with your child. You want to make sure that you're prepared, and that way your lesson is going to flow and it's going to be quick, high energy, and fun. In this step, you're going to choose your sounds. What sounds are you going to teach your child? You should choose 1 to 3 sounds. I recommend you choose 2 consonants and 1 vowel. As you start to teach more vowels, you'll be able to get into blending because we need vowels in English in order to make words. Next, you're going to choose your materials and prepare them before you teach your child. So you're going to choose your flashcards, paper, a whiteboard, blocks, magnets, toys. Think about what your child likes. Does your child love to play with a baby or a doll or a stuffed animal or a car? If so, bring those along and make them part of your session. If your child is active, make sure that you use movement in your session. For example, you can place your flashcards around the room and have your child hop to them, fly to them, drive their car to them. Your child, if they like a baby, can pretend to be the baby's teacher. You can play a matching game with the letters or a bingo type of game. These are always great bets for children to learn how to read. Finally, you're going to choose the place and time where you're going to teach your child. Are you going to teach them at home, on the floor, on the couch, at a desk? Are you going to teach them in the morning, just after their snack, maybe before they have their nap, or at night before they go to bed? Whatever you choose, make sure that you make it part of a consistent routine. And make sure that your child is sitting directly in front of you, looking at you. Make sure that your work environment is quiet and clutter-free. This will eliminate any distractions. Step 1 should take about 5 minutes. Step 2 is the teaching phase. This is where we get into the fun part and the rewarding work of teaching your child to read. Remember, you're going to choose 1 to 3 sounds and you're going to teach them explicitly. And then you're going to play, review, repeat, and see what your child can understand, can remember, and what you need to reinforce. In the first lesson, you're going to teach 2 or 3 sounds. And in all future lessons, you're going to teach new sounds and review all the sounds you learned before. Do not skip the review. The review is critical because it will allow you to see what your child has learned, what they still need to practice, and what they don't really understand. Remember, you're going to offer lots of praise. You want to make sure that your child feels so loved and so safe and so rewarded for their efforts. This means that you need to be high energy. Put a smile on your face, clap for your child, tell them how proud you are, how smart they are, how hard they're working. Step 3 is your post-teaching phase. Here, you're gonna sit down with yourself and you're gonna analyze how that lesson went. Does your child need more time? Do they need more repetition? Do you need to review or explain something in a different way? Do you need to teach them slower or faster? And if you see that your child is overwhelmed or stressed or confused, it's okay to go slower. It's okay to teach just one sound. It's okay to take a few steps back. It's all okay, because the goal of learning is to bond and be confident. You want your child to learn and enjoy it and be hungry to learn more. So assess the situation based on how it went and create your next game plan. That's it. In 3 easy steps, you can teach your child to read at home in less than 10 minutes. Your first step is the pre-teaching phase. Your second step is the teaching phase. And your last step is the post-teaching phase. If you apply this type of game plan, your child will feel amazing and you will feel accomplished that you taught your child to read at home. In the next video, I'm going to show you an exact lesson plan that I use with my students and my children.